KUAM TV 8, your broadcast home for the games of the 31st Olympiad. Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. Pacific Solar and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
The mayor of Jigo and Simon Sanchez High School students say enough is enough. Funding for the hospital, senators head into legislative session, and all 9 delegate votes go to Donald Trump, now officially the Republican nominee for president. Hapade Guam, I'm Jason Salas. These are tonight's top headlines. Well, the Jigo community is fighting back when it comes to safety of students at the home of the Sharks. After constant delays, protesters raised their signs and voices, screaming for the government to act to rebuild the school. Isabaza has our top story.
Enough is enough. Rebuild Simon Sanchez. Those were the signs held by students and community members during a protest in front of the home of the Sharks Wednesday afternoon. Jigo Mayor Rudy Metsanani.
And I'm tired of seeing kids here in Jigo going to a place like this, and it's unsafe, and I'm not going to wait until somebody gets hurt. They have done the bid. Somebody won the bid. And what Cortec is doing, you know, I don't like to make accusations, but this is not about making money. It's about building the school because the kids need a new school here. And I think that we deserve it. Don't you think so, kids?
Yeah.
I cannot hear you.
Yes. I thought they were supposed to build it like a really long time ago.
Jessalyn Charforth, a junior at Sanchez, said she was disappointed at the news that the rebuilding of her school was again delayed.
You know, I was kind of getting mad because my little sister is coming here and I want her to witness a new school.
She says she and other students are instead forced to struggle with dilapidated facilities, sinking floorboards in temporary classrooms that have been there for decades, leaking tin roofs, and broken air conditioning units.
When I was a freshman, my math class, we had no aircon at all, like the whole half of the year. And it was really hard to concentrate and do our work because we're all sweating, it's hot, there's no fan, there's hardly any fan in the room, no wind coming through.
Principal Carla Masnayan said she was thankful to see the community's support.
We'd like for the process to go through, and of course I would like to hope that it is expedited and that we're able to move forward with whatever the decision, move forward and be able to begin the process of rebuilding.
She hopes plans to rebuild Sanchez will move forward quickly. However, after losing bidder Cortec International filed a third protest with the Department of Public Works last Friday, the process is again delayed. Metsanani said at least 500 people have already signed a petition asking that the Office of Public Accountability push the issue forward. He says if delays continue to drag on, more protests may be planned in the near future. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isabaza.
Now, it's also worth noting that the $100 million RFP not only addresses Sanchez High, but all of the island's public school campuses. You can watch and hear from more students at today's protest by watching our live stream on our Facebook page. Well, let's stay with island education headlines now, as DOE did resume school tours this morning, beginning with the Stumbo Middle School and Ukuru High School. Deputy Superintendent Chris Anderson said the northern tours focus on meeting with administrative teams, walking through facilities, and better understanding outstanding issues that must be addressed before school begins. He said leased schools like Stumbo and Ukuru are in good shape.
This was a closed room, but because we added a new...
You come out of a school like this and it's, you're impressed. The level of maintenance on these facilities is there. And it would be great to be able to replicate this at our other schools. So it's a funding issue, but again, despite limited resources, we still have a responsibility to ensure health and safety of students.
He said doing so is a bigger challenge with limited money to maintain facilities. Nevertheless, he says schools are on track to open on August 18th. Well, Well, the Attorney General's office will not be assisting the Education Board with its administrative internal investigation into sexual misconduct allegations against the superintendent. Attorney General Elizabeth Barrett Anderson says, quote, "Our role is tied to the criminal justice process, not to the internal affairs of any agency. It would be a conflict of interest for this office to assist the board," end quote. The Education Board does not typically conduct internal inquiries relative to allegations of sexual misconduct because these allegations usually arise and are handled at the school level. As a result, the board requested the agency's assistance with conducting an internal investigation earlier this week. Well, 48 hours after its public hearing, lawmakers are in session to discuss a substitute version of Bill 340, funding the Guam Memorial Hospital through bond refinancing to help pay vendor payables. While it already provided $30 million to GMH, Agency Administrator Peter John Camacho tells KUAM News that they also want an extra $15 million to be used as a cushion.
We would be able to have that ability to be able to continue to pay them and not go back to a situation where we're not able to pay. And then we will then be put on credit hold and repeat the process all over again.
You can read the substitute bill on KUAM.com and the KUAM News mobile app. Meanwhile, lawmakers sent Bill 345 to the voting file to reject the proposed rules for medicinal marijuana. In a crime watch, 23-year-old Eddie John Camacho has been indicted for manslaughter, vehicular homicide, negligent homicide, reckless driving with injuries, speeding, imprudent driving, and failure to yield to a pedestrian's right-of-way. He was driving when he hit and killed cyclist Eric Bell last month up in Dedido, and although he recalls the light being green, court documents state he did not see Bell crossing the street because he was glancing towards the mall to ensure no cars were entering Marine Corps Drive. Camacho answers to the charges on August the 3rd. Well, a 36-year-old man in other news is behind bars accused of raping a girl not once, but more than 10 times. William Mino Perez allegedly forced himself on a 9-year-old girl while she was sleeping. Perez was arrested and charged with 2 counts each of first and second-degree criminal sexual conduct, both as first-degree felonies. Well, on the floor of the Republican National Convention, which is underway in Cleveland, Governor Eddie Calvo cast all of its delegates' votes to Donald Trump.
Mr. Chairman, from the tip of the spear of American might, home of B-52s, B-1s, B-2s, fast attack nuclear submarines that are keeping the potential enemies of America at bay. And also the place where millions of tourists from Asia come to get a taste of the peace of America in Asia. And a place where it's Wednesday, where America's day begins. The island of Guam pledges its 9 delegates to the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
At Guam's 2D total, and the Republican Party officially made Donald Trump its nominee for President of the United States. Well, please stay tuned. We are back after this.
Stay connected to the world at home from everywhere you are. Get the KUAM News app for the latest in local news, videos, sports, streaming, Isla 63 AM, weather, and more. Available for free now at the iTunes App Store or Google Play.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens,
it's a beautiful day.
We rely on the people we trust,
It's a beautiful,
who we can always count on,
beautiful day.
and the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need
It's a beautiful day.
wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, healthcare that's always there for you.
At IT&D, we take a different approach when it comes to data. Introducing IT&D's new rate plans. We've increased the amount of 4G LTE data for our plans to give you more of what you want so you can do more of the things that you want. More snapping, more sharing, more connecting. Bring your own phone and get even more 4G LTE data and up to 3 months of free service. New plans, more data, more value. IT&D. Life in motion.
When you reserve a party at Chuck E. Cheese's, it's guaranteed to be a blast! Blast off! And now birthdays are more of a blast than ever! Because for a limited time, tickets in the Ticket Blaster are worth double!
In the market for a new or used car, Triple J says yes. Triple J Auto Group has the largest selection of brands on Guam. See for yourself at our newly enhanced website, triplejguam.com. We make it easy. First-time buyers welcome. Zero down. Trade-ins welcome. Get pre-approved instantly. Triple J says yes. Even get an instant trade-in offer all online. It's simple, safe, and secure. Plus, you can get a real-time view of the car of your dreams all at the touch of a finger. Why leave home when we can bring our dealerships to you? Triple J says yes at triplejguam.com. Triple J, customers first.
Follow KUAM News on Twitter or become a fan on Facebook to get all your daily headlines from Guam's News Network.
Millions more in federal funding for infrastructure improvements is pouring in ahead of the Marine relocation as Congresswoman Madeline Bordallo announced that $55 million has now been occupied by the DoD for GWA projects. $30 million is earmarked for sewer line replacement and another $21 million to build a Northern District water treatment plant. She said $50 million more has been authorized in this year's NDAA for remaining projects to enhance services on and off base. Well, Eddie Benavente was a pioneer for Indigenous rights and cultural preservation, and today family and friends paid their last respects to the Chamorro rights leader. The former Guam Ancestral Land Commission executive director died in early July at the age of 59. He was a founding member of Nacion Chamorro, having served as Magalahi from 1995 to 2003, organizer of Sagang Kuturan Chamorro, executive director of the Decolonization Commission, producer of a talk show right here on KUAM Radio, and a teacher of Chamorro and Guam history at JFK, UOG, and GCC. He's survived by his wife Jill, daughters Amber and Tassi, and 5 grandchildren. Well, it has been in the works for decades as the island prepares to celebrate 72 years of liberation from Japanese occupation, and the Menangan concentration camp is now officially listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Ken Quintanilla has more.
It holds a special place in Guam's history and now will be recognized by the rest of the nation.
What happens with the National Register listing is that we're saying that this site and the story behind it is key and relevant in the story of the United States. It is a turning point in history for the United States.
Today, the Guam Preservation Trust State Historic Preservation Office, together with the Guam Historic Review Board, announced the Menangan concentration camp has officially been listed in the National Register of Historic Places. Michael Blas McKeel is the chairman of the Trust and Review Board.
Personally, I have reflected on what the listing of Menangan concentration camp means to me. My mother herself was actually encamped at Menangan, and she suffered through the war. And she and her family would have to emerge after World War II as orphans, without a home, not knowing where her parents were even buried. My mother and her siblings endured forced marches, bombing of their home, neighborhoods, encampment, lack of food, lack of medical care, and the knowledge of interrogations and other atrocities happening to people on Guam.
The site is already listed on the Guam Register of Historic Places. The National Register of Historic Places is the official list of our nation's historic places worthy of preservation. McKeel says several programs are available to sites on the registry that can help expand elements of the memorial from interpretive signage, formal tours, and other historical documentation. For Senator Tina Muñoz Barnes, her mom also lived through the war and says this recognition will ensure we never forget.
The story will continue to be told. We shall never forget. We wipe the tears away from war. We forgive, but we shall always remember for generations to come that the freedoms that we live today is because of what our parents and our grandparents have gone through.
The listing coincides with Liberation Day and the annual Menangan Mass. Paula Eric Forbes invites everyone to attend on Sunday, July 24th at 4 p.m.
And we hope with our prayers and Mass that we bring some relief and comfort to the souls who have passed on, that we're honoring their experiences and haven't forgotten.
The Guam Historic Preservation Officer Linda Uggins says they are now working to get Menangan listed as a National Historic Landmark. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintanilla.
In other news, dozens of your fellow Guamanians are already securing their spots for front row seats to the spectacle of floats set to hit the road for the island's 72nd Liberation Day Parade. Crystal Paco reports.
Location, location, location. That's what draws dozens of residents early to secure their canopies in preparation for Thursday's 72nd Liberation Day Parade.
Shade, the trees.
19-year-old Dededo resident Jamari Guerrero says her family typically picks the same spot under the trees, and she's not alone in her quest for relief from the heat. 12-year-old Timberlyn Pangilinan says her favorite float is
The fire truck.
Yeah. The fire truck? Why the fire truck?
The water.
Sweating up a storm is 28-year-old Vincent Torres, who's doing the heavy lifting for his Jotnia family. On Wednesday morning, he and his relatives were assembling their canopy. For him, watching the parade is a long-running family tradition.
When I was a young kid, I'll run out and grab candy, but all in all, family enjoying each other, our company and all that.
Also beachside is 22-year-old Kinani Flores. While she's already dreading the heat, she says it's quality family time that makes it all worth it.
As long as we're all together, then it's okay. It's just like a huge family reunion.
While they enjoy the food, family, and fun, each remembers what makes July 21st so significant for the people of Guam.
Because we were liberated during the war, and so this is Guam's time to celebrate being free. Viva Liberation!
The theme for the 72nd Liberation Day Parade is Hatsa, the revitalization of our land and our people. According to Dededo Mayor Melissa Zavares, parade goers can expect 76 entries, which include marching units, cars, nonprofit walking groups, government agencies, and village floats. Roads close at 6:30 a.m. Pre-parade festivities start at 9 a.m. and the official parade starts at 10 at Adaloop and ends at the Chief Kapua Park. For fireworks, 2 displays are set for 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. at the Tidsin Carnival grounds. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
Now, once again, 2 fireworks displays will be at 10 p.m. and 8 p.m. at the Tidsin Carnival grounds. And we at the KUAM Stream team will be bringing you real-time, all-access interactive coverage throughout the parade, powered by Docomo Pacific, with special thanks to Cars Plus, Quality Distributors, and Pepsi. Join us on Facebook at facebook.com/KUAM News as we celebrate with all our fellow Guamanians near and far over the internet. We go live starting at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Stay tuned. Chris is up next with sports.
People always have something in the back of their head, this wise voice that tells them, wait a second, maybe there might be another way to think about this. Maybe if I ask someone or I talk to someone about how I'm feeling, maybe there might be another way or another solution.
I guess I want those people to know that you're not alone in feeling that. I've felt it. I understand that hurt, but help is never that far away.
No matter what, it's good to externalize our emotions. It's good to talk about it, because if we don't talk about it, we keep it bottled up inside, and that's what kind of leads us to have those thoughts.
Giving up and quitting life is the worst thing you can choose. Trust me, when you choose life, you win. You'll always beat the monster that you're fighting.
If someone you know needs help, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.
Real people, steel people. From heroes to homeowners, they choose steel for power, service, and value. Right now, hardworking steel blowers start at just $159.95. And introducing the BR450 CEF Backpack Blower, the world's only backpack blower with electronic start. Start and stop with a flip of a switch. Find your steel dealer at steeldealers.com or search STIHL.
Reduce your energy costs with GPA's Energy Sense program. Energy Sense provides cash rebates with the purchase of qualified energy-efficient air conditioners, washers, and dryers that help reduce your energy usage. Contact GPA today at 647-5787, 8 or 9 to learn more about Energy Sense and other ways to help reduce your monthly energy usage and save money by using energy more efficiently. For more Energy Sense saving ideas, visit GuamPowerAuthority.com or like us on Facebook. Energy Sense makes good sense.
This is how Precision listens. Bose microphones that hear engine noise, then counter it with the sound-canceling frequency, which helps make the cabin so quiet, you don't miss a thing.
Night, Dad.
Good night, kiddo. See you in the morning.
It's called Active Noise Cancellation, and it's available in the new, meticulously crafted 2016 Sierra from GMC. This is the precision of professional grade.
Visit AutoSpot GMC today for great offers. We are your GMC dealer of Guam.
Avane Guam, Chris Barnett with sports here on this Liberation Day Eve. And let's get right to it with a special report on the Rio Olympics and the Zika virus. It's becoming a bigger story than the Summer Olympics themselves. I'm talking about the Zika virus, with World Olympians and even media members dropping out of the 2016 Games in Rio because they're scared to catch Zika, which is spread through the bites of infected mosquitoes. One has to wonder if Guam Olympians are also feeling the fear spreading like a virus through the International Olympic Committee. Regine Tugade, representing Guam in the 100-meter sprint, says the Guam National Olympic Committee is advising local Olympians to stay ready.
I just came out from a meeting with a board member from GNOC. He told me, be prepared with my insect repellent, mosquitoes repellent, whatever like that. But overall, I'm not really worried about that. I'm there to run. I'm there to compete. I'm there to, experience all of that. So that's pretty much what I'm worried about.
Now, according to the World Health Organization, the Zika virus's symptoms include mild fever, skin rash, pink eye, muscle and joint pain, and headaches, with a scientific consensus saying Zika causes microcephaly, a devastating birth defect, leading the WHO to declare Zika a global health emergency. But get this, they also say the risk of contracting Zika at the Rio Olympics is, quote, very low.
I'm definitely going to take precautions when I'm there, just wear long sleeves and long pants and try to stay away from the jungles.
GNOC head Rick Blas says the local Olympic Committee is following the situation closely and disseminates all WHO bulletins pertaining to Zika and the Rio Games, which start in August. Tugade agrees the GNOC is doing what they can.
They're doing a great job. Yeah.
Now, with the Brazilian government investigating 4,000 cases of microcephaly for links to Zika, Brazil is the country hardest hit by the virus, and over 60 nations have reported outbreaks of Zika. There's also new evidence Zika may be spread sexually. The Centers for Disease Control has even issued a level 2 alert for anyone attending the Olympics in Rio in light of mounting evidence that the Zika virus may cause GBS, a rare nerve disease that can lead to paralysis or, in rare cases, death. Now, Guam Olympians say they have done their research, and they say they'll keep on keeping on for Guam.
I'm just going to focus on my training. I can't really control what happens out there, just focus on what I can control.
Dr. Peter Lombard will represent Guam in cycling in Rio, and in a statement says he doesn't blame athletes for succumbing to Zika fears and dropping out of the games, since a lot is still unknown about the virus. But he says the time of year is favorable when it comes to avoiding mosquitoes that transmit the virus, and generally speaking, he feels the risks are low. Now, over 200 doctors and at least one U.S. senator have petitioned the WHO to move or postpone the games. But for now, despite the mounting fears, the show will go on. Coach E.J. Calvo, Guam Basketball Confederation Director of Men's Team Activities, Men's National Team Coach, recently appointed Coach Eddie Pelkey to be the head coach of the Under-17 Boys Junior National Team for the upcoming Micronesian Basketball Tournament being held in Koror, Palau from July 25th through the 29th. Coach Pelkey brings a wealth of experience to this young squad, having over 17 years of high school coaching under his belt. He's the current head coach of the Father Duenas Friars basketball team with a championship in 2014. Also, he's the head coach of the Academy of Our Lady Cougars hoops team, having won 3 championships in his 5 years there, most recently in 2015, in which he completed a perfect 22-0 season. He's also the director of the women's basketball team activities for GBC, having coached the U18 girls squad to a bronze medal finish at the 2014 Oceania Basketball Championships in Suva, Fiji, with losses coming only to powerhouses New Zealand and Australia. All right, hey, you guys have a great Liberation Day tomorrow. And don't forget, check out the stream team on KUAM News' Facebook. Until then, my name's Chris Barnett. Thank you for watching. Adios!
This is a cat, and this is a live photo of a cat.
Live photos are more than just photos. They come alive when you touch them. And then they go back to still when you let go. So every time you take a picture, you get more than just a photo. You get to relive the moment because it teleports you through space and time. I'm kidding. Time travel is dangerous.
These used cars are Nissan certified, and let me show you why I stand behind every used car that we sell. First, our certified technicians inspect every used car to make sure it's safe, reliable, and mechanically sound. Then any scratches and dings are given first-class treatment at our body shop. And after thorough detailing inside and out, the car is ready for sale. At a price that's always below Blue Book. That makes Nissan used cars your best buy.
Catch the finger food craze that's taking over the world. Start with McDonald's delicious shareable chicken McNuggets, 20 for $5.99. And don't forget your favorite sauce. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
While hundreds of homeless seek shelter every day, when memories fade like old photographs, and families struggle to care for loved ones with special needs, as young children are caught in the storm of abuse and neglect, we are there. For over 30 years, we have helped Guam's victims of life when there was nowhere else to turn. You can help too by giving $1 a month. God bless you.
Here is Isa Baza with tonight's Think Green.
Think Green is presented by Pacific Solar and Photovoltaics, keeping Guam green one roof at a time. Call 632-4002 for more information.
If you want to save money while also saving the environment, then get the best of both worlds by attending a free workshop happening this Friday and Saturday from 8 to 4 p.m. at the Westin Hotel. The Guam Tropical Energy Code Homeowners Workshop Series is catered to both homeowners and small businesses. Hosted by the Guam Energy Office, Guam Community College, and the Guam Building Code Council, the workshop series aims to educate community members on cost-saving and energy-efficient measures and technologies. The two-day workshop offers 5 sessions, including an introduction to photovoltaics, types of photovoltaic systems and their components, weatherproofing, insulation, and energy-saving techniques, how to conduct an energy audit of your home, as well as government incentives and tax credits for energy-efficient homes. The series was made possible through United States Department of Interior grant funding, aimed at facilitating the development of a local tropical energy code. It kicks off with opening remarks from Chairman of the Guam Building Code Council, Brent Weiss, along with Guam Energy Office Director Loralee Crisostomo. Crisostomo said, quote, "These free homeowners workshops will provide people with ideas and connect them with experts that can show them affordable ways to cool down living spaces and get tax credits for being energy efficient," end quote. She added, quote, "We urge homeowners to take advantage of the workshops and thank US DOI for providing the funding for this event," end quote. The free conference is limited to 100 people per day. To register, all you have to do is call 735-5589. Interested participants can also fill out a registration form online at www.guamcc.edu and email the form to tossimarina.mofnis@guamcc.edu. With this week's Think Green, I'm Isa Baza.
Think Green is presented by Pacific Solar and Photovoltaics, keeping Guam green one roof at a time. Call 632-4002 for more information.
All right, let's do some birthday shout-outs. Happy birthday tonight to Lana Rose Valoria from your family. Also, Calvin Borja blows out the candles today, as does Robert Westfall. Happy birthday to you. Julene Manglonia, happy birthday to you. Gloria Monet Regis, hope you had a wonderful day. Star Laguatnia has a birthday. Happy birthday, Star. Mark Scott, we know Mark. Happy birthday, Mark. And happy 5th birthday to Serena Hendricks. Go on KUAM.com to register for the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club and be part of the group. Stay tuned, we're back after this.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
Happy day, everybody, and happy Liberation Day from all of us here at KUAM. This is D16 Tonight, our weekly program where we bring you the very latest news, issues, and viewpoints about the upcoming election. And we've got a great episode for you tonight because we will be introducing you to the candidates running for mayor and vice mayor of both Petey and Santa Rita, so stay tuned for that. But first, we have two gentlemen that are esteemed in their knowledge of politics, all things, longtime KUAM anchor person, Sean Gabatata. Sean, welcome back.
Thanks.
Welcome home. And Ron, you've sat in this chair many, many years, Dr. Ron McInch from the University of Guam, so you're practically part of this staff already.
Almost.
Yeah. KUAM News Anchor Emeritus, I would say.
Maybe just a guy who kind of talks here sometimes.
Yeah, well, we certainly appreciate the talking that both of you gentlemen will do. So, let's go ahead and start off with the thing that seems everybody around the world is talking about, the United States presidential race. What did each of you think about his surprise introduction yesterday on day one?
So I guess we're talking about Donald Trump and the Republican side. Yes, it was a bit of a surprise. I think we were talking right before we came on the air about whether or not any candidate will show up on the first day. It did set off a buzz, and it seems that with today's vote and by all of the delegates in the roll call, it's now apparent that we got a big race coming in the next 4 months ahead.
Ron, there's a lot of people I've been seeing like on social media, and you can't read too much into what Twitter says because it can be rather acerbic, to put it lightly. But some people were saying like it seemed like the Republican National Convention so far has been more of a marketing circus rather than a traditional political forum, which is based on tradition and protocol and procedure and everything like that. Your thoughts about day one?
Sure. All politics is a marketing circus.
Good point.
Let's be real, okay? I mean, he's just different. That's all he is. He's a different kind of candidate. He's going to show up on the first day. He's changing the game. He totally routed a bunch of talking head Republicans, do-nothing Republicans, totally just laid them to waste in the primary, and they're kind of, a little bit upset about that. Too bad. Move on. This is politics, right? This is go big or go home. And, if you're going to get in the ring and fight, you fight to win. That's what politics is.
And again, even I guess drawing on his capitalist nature and everything like that, he didn't just walk onto the stage and, elbow wrist, do the whole, beauty pageant waving thing and everything like that. The image of the silhouette of him taking the stage and then walking up very, slowly and dramatically and everything like that, I think that made a lot of impact on a lot of Americans.
Yeah, and most people,
pro and con.
Yeah, I mean, most people that are watching from their TV, I mean, not to mention the entire convention. I mean, if people weren't already fired up already, from that group, which is a different group than probably what we've seen probably since 1980 when in elections. It's a different ball game for the Republican Party right now. One other quick thing: when have conventions ever been this much fun? Whether you like it or not, it's fun, and everybody, even if they hate it because they love it. Right.
And the people that really, really don't like it cannot change the channel because they can't wait to say what's happening. The Howard Stern effect, basically.
Right, exactly.
Okay, well, certainly the Republican National Convention thus far is not without its controversy, probably foremost among which is that Donald Trump's wife is rumored, or, conjecture seems to lead us to believe that, she may have plagiarized a speech given by Michelle Obama. Your thoughts?
For most people that do speeches, I'm sure it speaks to the people that are around this presidential campaign. There's been a lot of criticism about whether there is enough people there. Yes, she said she did most of it, and we got to give it to her for that. But most people that watched it without all the post speech hype, they thought that it was probably they just didn't expect that kind of speech from Mrs. Trump, and so much of the tone was set was a good one, but it's kind of soured in the last couple hours since.
Yeah, if you were to parse the various words that she uttered, Ron, and everything, would you say it was a lift?
Well, one thing I can say is the current vice president, President Obama's vice president, actually got convicted in the media for doing exactly the same thing when he was running for president a number of years ago. So they actually showed that he totally lifted it and it was a staffer's mistake and stuff like that. So we don't know if she did it or a staffer did it, or I think that's the important point here. But if she did, live and let live, move on, say mea culpa, I made a mistake, and that's probably how she is. Make the mistake, move on.
Okay, well, we're going to move on to local politics in just a moment, Sean. But, you've been a speechwriter under the Felix Camacho administration for many years. How difficult is it to write a completely original work? You know, because I mean, there's only so many issues you can talk about. There's only so many ways you can present information.
Yeah, I mean, you have to kind of review a lot of speeches that you might have done previously. You might have some catchphrases that might exist, but it is absolutely challenging. If you think about it for a moment, depending on what kind of speech you're giving. Is it an inaugural speech? Is it going to be like a speech in front of groups like this? Could be even smaller ones. It's just the creativity. You just got to be mindful of it. And also you want to speak in their words. It's more natural.
All right, well, Dr. Ram, we're going to go to commercial break real quick, but your students undertook another poll in the survey. Interesting results. Can you summarize them real quick, please?
Sure. Incumbents are doing very, very well, and the top 17 are very, very competitive.
So once again, I believe it was Mary Torres, the incumbent, and also Tony did not crack the top
And I
15.
think those numbers are going to go up and down all the time.
Is it,
yeah.
With signage and with advertising, or with
I think that people didn't recognize Mary Torres' name on the poll, and they didn't recognize Tony Adda's name on the poll. And so we'll see some ups and downs. And I think that, and also there's some name confusion sometimes between Tony Adda and Tom Adda. That all changes once they vote one time in the primary, then it straightens itself out.
Yeah, also interesting because Tony Adda's name on the actual ballot is Vicente Adda. Some people might be confused at that.
That's what happened, I think.
All right, well, gentlemen, thank you very much. We appreciate your insight.
Okay.
All right, stay tuned, everybody. We are back with more D16 tonight, right after this.
What a nice hike down to the waterfall on such a beautiful day.
Yeah, the water is so refreshing.
I agree. Water is life. But did you guys hear about the drought Guam's in?
No, I hadn't heard. What's the deal?
Well, this year we're on the other half of El Nino. Last year we had all the storms. This year we have the drought. Luckily, Guam has a fast charging aquifer with plenty of water. That's true. But we still need to do our part and conserve water. We don't want to waste it.
I keep forgetting to call GWA about the leak on my street.
Dude, you gotta get that fixed right away.
Okay, will do. Small things make a big difference. Do your part, Guam.
Save water by fixing leaks in and around your home or ranch. And if you have a leak in your village, report it to 646-4211.
Like us on our Facebook page, and for more water saving tips, log on to guamwaterworks.org.
People love my portobello mushroom buttery jack, made with portobello mushrooms, grilled onions, and garlic herb butter. Ever wonder how I came up with it? Well, actually, I came up with it at the water cooler, but I thought you'd like this cowboy story better. The portobello mushroom buttery jack is back. Part of the buttery jack family. Taste it before it's gone.
At IT&D, we take a different approach when it comes to data. Introducing IT&D's new rate plans. We've increased the amount of 4G LTE data for our plans to give you more of what you want so you can do more of the things that you want. More snapping, more sharing, more connecting. Bring your own phone and get even more 4G LTE data and up to 3 months of free service. New plans, more data, more value. IT&D, life in motion.
Welcome back, my friends, to D16 tonight. Let's head down to the southern village of Santa Rita now to see who wants to lead that village.
Afternoon. My name is Dale Eugene Alvarez, Mayor from Santa Rita. I'm running for re-election. I was born and raised in Santa Rita, now 66 years old. And I'm just running to try and continue my job, my work.
Buenas, Anafade. My name is Gil Duenas Leon Guerrero, and I am running for the mayor of Santa Rita. My wife is the former Julia Kenya Cepeda. We have 4 children.
What I'm pursuing now, my main priorities right now are the erosions. I got so many erosions, and my main concern is I got 4 homes that are jeopardized. Being jeopardized by the erosion. And I fear the family might lose their homes if it's not taken care of. We already had in our last one home just fell in the hole and the family had to relocate. So I'm hoping that the government will come out and help us fix it. Right now, my main problem is they don't do private properties, which I'm fighting for that because it's rivers are not considered private property, and it's the rivers that are expanding, getting deeper and deeper. And I got so many concerned citizens that are pleading with me to help, and I'm pleading with all the right people, but right now I'm not getting anything.
I've been approached by several people asking me to run, and they'll give me the full support. So I decided to give it a good try and do my best. I came up with my vision and goal based on the people's concern, motivated for change. And one of those visions is revitalization. I would like to work with the community senior citizens and bring up our membership. At present time, our membership is so low that they are going to different centers for their activities. I will work with them, work hard with them, and bring them back to our center. Our center is one of the most beautiful center, and it's modern.
Every Monday, Wednesday, we have Zumba classes, and I guess the residents only pay $5, and we don't charge them because I want my seniors, or I want my constituents to come out and stay healthy, of course. We got a keto program every, I believe, Monday and Wednesdays too. The instructors coming out and teaching the kids. I got the Manamco, the Senior Citizen Center, and they're playing bingos and they're supposed to be exercising. But yeah, they play bingo and we have fundraisers for bingo.
Some of the activities that was brought to my attention are, let's have a movie night at the center. Let's have a karaoke and dancing contest at the center. Let's have storytelling at the center. Let's invite entertainers to our center for the community to enjoy. Also, they have brought to my attention if we could have night festival. That night festival is Pinamamis. Bring your baked cakes, cookies, donuts, anything that is sweet, and let's join with the community.
My NAF, non-appropriated fund, and my program is to help assist by people that are sick, are being referred off island. It's a humanitarian program, and for the kids, baseball, softball, if they're going off island, All-Star, I help them. I give them a couple of $100 to help defray the cost of their trip. And the humanitarian, of course, is if you're being referred to off island, I give them a couple of $100, to help them.
The other night festival that was suggested to me is the best barbecue night, smoked meat, and the best kilawin. These are some of the activities that was called to my attention. We have two fiestas that we're having in Santa Rita. One is Santa Rita, which is May, and the other one is December. They have suggested that we should have some kind of a carnival. Let's have a carnival and a ride for the kids, caravan ride, some kind of an entertainment.
My street, of course, all over my village, I'm getting cracks and holes, and I guess that's part of erosion. But they're getting bad too. I got poles that are leaning due to the erosion problem, and the official, the government people, DPW specialists, trying to find a way to help me. It's just that I guess their magic word is no money. I don't know. I'm going to try and see what I can do to maybe help them find the money. Like I said, it's a challenge because right now I'm running into retaining walls that I can't seem to solve the erosion problem, and I think it's a big challenge for me, and I think that's going to be my most effort now, putting a lot of effort and energy to try and find a way to help my constituents, because I don't want them to lose their homes, even if I have to go out and try every other ways to get money.
By having the military as a partnership, they can help us with all the projects, beautification project that we plan to have, painting of our power pole, painting of the guardrails, painting of our bridge. Let's do some planting to beautify our streets. Also, that we might ask them to see if we can have a guided tour for Naval Mac, for the young generation can see the water resources that we have. Maybe we can ask them if we can have fishing derby for the young kids. And those are some of the things that we would like to work with the military. To show our appreciation, I would like to also probably come up with a barbecue on a weekend to work with the military and make it like a teamwork for a job well done and some kind of an appreciation. That's what I plan to do with the military.
It's a big challenge, and I love doing it. I'm going to try my damnedest to try and get all this erosion, maybe not all, but at least the major ones, get them fixed. I just hope the people would see what I'm doing and re-elect me.
To the people of Santa Rita, community of Santa Rita, I would like to ask if you're to remember me on this upcoming primary election. Hopefully that I can get in and be able to serve the community. I'll do my best. I will not make any promises, but I will do my best.
Stay tuned, everybody. D16 Tonight continues after this.
Smiling is a natural response to joy, happiness, and excitement. Your smile reveals a lot about who you are. A healthy, beautiful smile can brighten your appearance and be an invitation to conversation and friendship. It is often one of the first things people notice about you. Now, thanks to the advancements in dentistry, you can have the smile you have always wanted, giving you an improved smile that looks and feels great.
My silver fillings that I have, they're getting older in my mouth and I need to replace them. So I've started to do that, and I've replaced them with the white fillings, and I've had really great success with that. It looks good, they feel natural, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the bleaching. I want a white look all around my mouth.
Ruby Tuesday now gives you more for lunch. Endless trips to the Fresh Garden Bar, plus add-ons, mini combinations, and even new meal options. It's the new lunchtime menu, available Monday to Friday until 2 p.m., only at Ruby Tuesday.
The summer clearance event is on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Now's the time to save thousands on your next vehicle, like a new Hyundai Elantra starting at $16,995 or a new Hyundai Sonata starting at $21,888. Save up to $5,000 off a new Hyundai Santa Fe. How about a new Jeep Cherokee starting at $27,995 or a new Chrysler 200 only $164 per paycheck. See our entire selection online at CarsPlusGuam.com. It's our summer clearance event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Welcome back, everybody, to D16 Tonight. Let's head over to the central village of PD now for that village's candidates.
Happy day. I am Soledad Chargalov. My friends and families call me Dot, and I am from PD. And I'm running for a seat Democratic in the mayoral race for this village. Buenas, Toto Piti, si Soledad Chargalafo, si dat maagangon ito doon ni Mangatsongo, sa unggan malalago, si Demokrato na banda, Presene dot Vinigi, Bonita na Songsong Piti, Vinigi Island Boham. Before I approached my boss one day and I told him about my plans to become a mayor, and he sat me down and said, Dot, being a mayor is like a mother, and mother has responsibilities to her children and her family. And thus, he said, that's what mayor is all about. You are responsible for their needs. You're responsible for practically everything that they can come about. And that's what I know. And that is me. I'm a public servant.
Day. My name is Frank Cabrera. I'm from the village of Pidi, and I'm running for mayor of this village. I spent close to maybe 50-some years here. I was born here, right in the village in September 1951. Actually, last 4 years, I ran for mayor here as well. I challenged the incumbent. However, I didn't make the petition signatures. I was short by only 4 signatures, so I didn't make it officially on the ballot. So I ran a write-in campaign, but I found out that that doesn't work. So now I made it into the ballot this time as an official candidate, and I'm running as a Democrat.
Day. My name is Jesse Allig, and I am running for the mayor of Pidi. I am a homegrown son of Pidi. My father is Edward Santos Allig. My mother is Carmen Cristobal Leon Guerrero. My grandparents are Jesus Guerrero Allig, Familian Liberato, and Natividad Santos Allig, Familian Tibucho.
Half a day, I'm Annie Rages Kenga, and I'm running for Pidi Mayor. I've lived in Pidi since 1972. I'm married to Joseph Kenga, but I'm originally from Mongmong. I have 2 children, Joanne Gosard and Tina Kenga. They're in the States, and so are all my grandchildren. Well, I have a stepdaughter, Darlene Timing Lu, and 2 of our grandchildren are here. I went to George Washington Junior High. It was still at the Quonset, the old elementary school. And that's a junior high. Then I went to Barragata Junior High because they had to break it down. I went to GW my senior year. I graduated in 1970. I'm 63 years old. I'll be 64 in July.
I have been a public servant for almost all my life, and I see our village. I mean, I've been to villages, other villages here, and there's so much activities in the other villages that I don't see here. We don't even have a mayor's office, and we don't have a youth center. So I would like to see that happen in our village. I will have like more activation, like especially the youth. And with what I can do with my background, I can really help the kids, gear up, like for summer programs and for after-school programs, and for anything that they need to just really keep them going. They are the foundation of this village, and that's where we start. And for the seniors, for the older people, I am sure there are lots of ways for me to activate once I am lucky, yeah. But there's a lot of things that I can do for this village with my own personal background, being an instructor and a dancer and a floor arranger and all that. And I can see that the seniors really need to, show some action in this village.
I decided to run because 4 years ago I had seen the incumbent, and I had seen the incumbent at that time. He already ran for 2 terms, and I hadn't seen anything done. After his first term, he promised a community center, a mayor's office, which never came about, never happened. And also this last term, this final term, which he went through, he had raised, he went on TV saying that he would get the Seamen's Club as the mayor's office. right after he was televised and he went public on regarding that issue, that of getting the Seamen's Club, nothing happened. So I'm considering to bringing that up again, raising that issue, and hopefully I can get the Seamen's Club for a mayor's office, for my mayor's office. Because right now, the mayor in 3 terms, which is basically, 12 years, he's been renting office space from the church, from the Catholic Church of PD. And I think some of that rental money can be used for other activities that can be used for the, village of PD.
I think with my combined 18 years in public service with the mayor's office and now with the governor's office, I believe that I am fully equipped with the resources and the tools to bring PD to greater heights. And I think I envision the basketball court that we have, the baseball field that we have, to be just filled with homegrown sports teams from PD. And we haven't seen that in a long time. And I look forward to a lot of those programs also. We do have playgrounds and government facilities, and what better use of those facilities than with the people that we have here in PD that are resourceful, that can actually create programs for not only the young children, for our adults, and for Manamco. And I think once we see that resurgence in activity and events here in the community, will really be a vibrant and a prosperous community. So I look forward to doing all of that.
I know that I will make a good mayor. I know that. I've helped a lot of people, and the people that come here for money, food, gas money, or anything, cigarettes, or and there's a lot of dropouts in PD, and I want to have hopefully get a program where they can go to school. They can't afford it because some of them are not working, they don't have a car, some of them don't even have a home. But I would like to encourage the young people to education. A lot of education, even about just everyday thing, and it's because they don't know how to do this, they don't know how to do that. And so I want to encourage the young people to, get the education. And then I want them to get a job, stand on their own, and also, so that they're living, they'll be, living well.
And there are a lot of things like we have our port of entry right over here. There's a lot of businesses down there. I am sure they can help with our summer school program or our summer sports activities here on this village, yeah. And also for the seniors. I am just so full of energy to bring that back to this village, yeah. And for being public servant, that's in my blood. It's what I've always done, and it's what I will continue to do.
One of my big ones that I decided to create, come up with, was an idea of every village so far that I know has brought up a festival, a mango festival for agate, a banana festival for Talafofo, a crab festival for Mauricio. And I was thinking they were basically concentrating, which is great. I mean, it's nice. It's great that they've done that. But they concentrated on basically the flora, the fauna, which is an animal or a plant that is very wide here on the island of Guam. But I decided, I think I'm going to do something which really bothers nationwide, and that is to do a festival of staying healthy, of keeping healthy, a festival of being healthy, being wholesome, being a healthy person, so that we can live to be more than, I think the average here in Guam is about 60 years old. I want people to live longer, maybe 100 years old.
Not to mention, we do have to be concerned about the infrastructure and our environmental issues, erosion, hazard mitigation. All of that definitely is a priority and it should be concentrated on. But I think for the most part, as a community, we live as a family. And in a family, we have some issues and we need to get over some of those issues. But if we work together, we're definitely able to reach new heights as a community.
I would like to help the young children, but I would like to help the elders. I want, I would, going around asking for a petition, there's a lot that I think as a mayor should provide them with. I don't mean for you to renovate their house, but from some houses that I've gone to, some people live there and they're like over 70 years old. They live alone. And maybe a little water blasting or yard work or mending, broken doors. I want to give the elders they're not going to be around too long. So, let them feel that people care for them, right? Even just to go over there and keep them company, I mean, that'd be nice.
For the people of PD, I will, really just give me an opportunity to serve you, and I will serve you the best of my ability. I would like to sit down with you and get this village going.
I hope you would vote for me because I really feel like I've got the leadership potential. I believe I'm a proactive leader who will not wait around to see where things are. I try to make it happen, see what would be good for the village of PD, and take that and go with it.
In the end, I think that your vote for me will definitely be a step towards reaching those goals. And so I ask the people of PD, I humbly ask the people of PD for their vote this coming election.
I didn't make any promises. These are all the things that I want. And I'm sure that the community will like that. Will like our village to come alive, I'm excited. I want to get it started. And I want to do things for them, for all of us. Because we're all, one community.
Well, and for all of us here at KUAM News, that is going to do it for this episode of D16 tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.